As I began to talk to the Lord about what was going to transpire, as what we will begin to see over the next 12 months, the word of the Lord began to jump out at me, and I heard the word, the birth of Isaac. Look at someone, say, this is the season of the birth of Isaac. There are 5 things that God is getting ready to do on this world and for his people. Over the next 12 months, we will see the Lord visiting people and places and things, areas where his promise is proclaimed to perform what he himself has declared. The Lord would do what he has spoken. This is the season and this is the year where he has made a declaration over your life. And now he will visit what he said. Now he will perform what he declared. Now he will make you give birth to what he said your womb would be full of. When Isaac is born, the word of the Lord came to me. What was birthed through false prophecy and fulfillment through the work of the flesh, the desire of man, and through the transfer of Adam, will be cast out. Fig leaves that cover the body of men and women will crumble, and palms shall cover the ground, making way for the King of Kings to enter into the city. This is the season where Ishmael leaves. What you perform to make happen, what flesh put his hands in, God is commanding to be evicted. Wheat and tare grow together for a season. Ishmael and Isaac grew for a season until it was time for the seed to be matured. This is the season of what was birthed through forced prophecy. It will be cast out. The word of the Lord came to me and said, God will be seen on people and persons, and a truce will be wanted. People will want to align because they see God is within individuals. This is the season where people will begin to recognize the gifts and callings on people's lives and will begin to gravitate more towards you, gravitate more in your business. You will find people with extreme favor that would want to get to know you. And it has nothing to do with you. Has everything to recognize that they see God in you, and they recognize that God is profitable business. I said God is profitable business. We're going to have to be very careful, because also in the season, that this is a season where your enemies will also make a truce with you, so that they may be able to profit from the goodness of the Lord. The word of the Lord came to me and said, this will be a year of sacrifice unto the Lord, specific to his desires. No longer are we just going to give him what we think we ought to give based upon what we know we think we ought to give. This is a year that we will give unto him based upon the rules of what his desire craves. What the Spirit of the Lord says. This is a year of sacrifice unto him based upon his movement. The Lord came to me and said, the desire to birth will be upon us finally. As I began to think and I began to travel the world, I began to recognize that this would be a special time for us on the planet as never before. as God began to deal with me when it comes to humanity and his global sovereign will over the affairs of mankind and not just his church. What we're going to find is that there is going to be a great revealing. There's going to be a great beholding. We're going to see great mercy. We're going to see grace. And it's all going to come from the Spirit. There's going to be a beholding like we have never seen before on this planet. And when we begin to behold, when the world begins to behold, when the church begins to behold the giant manifestation of the immensity of mercy and grace that comes from the Spirit of God, three things will take place. To the people of God, it will be a season to plow. But to the world, it would seem like we had a weapon. In our hands, it will be a plow. But to the world, they will see a weapon. And the third thing would be a cutting off. Because you cannot plow without removing. And you cannot have a weapon without its usage. In the hands of the church, we will have the tools necessary to dig the foul ground. And agriculture, foul ground is not bad ground. Foul ground is crop rotation. It's when you let a field rest, let it crust over, then you dig it up because the nutrition is finally back into the ground. This is the year where our plows will be allowed to enter the field of rest that God had deemed for our life. Now is the time that we plant in the fields full of our nutrition. But to the world, they'll see weaponry. We're going to begin to see like never before, as was last year. We're going to begin to see offense. We're going to see gates. We're going to see separation. We're going to see walls. We're going to see tents. But in those tents would be the inner chamber of them that are of the household of faith. The name of the Lord is a strong tower where the righteous run in and they are safe. Separation is the time. We're going to see great separation again. We're going to see a great fence again. Ideas separating, thoughts separating, people separating. And we're going to see a great gathering. We're also going to see an influx of finance, but we'll also see an influx of pride. As we were in worship, I was standing there and Allie was beginning to sing. And I was in China. And as Allie began to sing, I was in China and I was in front of the desk and I saw a very long piece of paper. And I saw hands writing by signatures. And I heard the Lord say, and the treaty of allegiance has been signed. We will see China partner with another country. Kobo Shataba, lift your hands. Kuraban Shetebe, Isatama Kantalabasha. I hear that in America, the politics will become unstable. As conspiracy after conspiracy begins to hit the American public, so to the place no one will know what to believe. But in the midst of confusion, I see a bunch of individuals. I don't know what's going to happen or what's going to cause it, but I see people. And I see them on the news. But I see a band of people walking down Constitutional Boulevard. And it's almost like they have agreed to say, let the world see us pray instead of fight. And I hear God say that for a season, prayer will bring peace in the House of Senate. Prayer will bring peace in the House of Senate. Earlier this year, God just reminded me of this. He had taken me up, and we were sitting in the clouds. And as we stood over the world, he said, son, my people have begun to cry out for the purity of the prophetic, and I have heard their petition. He said, I will now begin to shut down houses that I have never said to speak. Sources where people have ran to will no longer be able to see. And it will drive people to places that I have declared my word to reside in. He says, son, pray that you do not be found in the scales of wanting. Pray that you do not be found in the judgment of my coming. For my voice shall be valued in the earth again. I heard the Lord declare. And the mountains shook. And the rivers and the waves began to heave in worship. As the angels begin to cry, holy, 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 holy. I watch the earth heave itself in the rhythm of heaven. I watch the waves begin to heave itself in the rhythm of worship. Holy, holy, as they washed away themselves and crashed themselves on the shore. They resounded the sound of holiness. Lastly, the Lord declares that I am yet still the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I am still yet the God who visited, who chastised, who blessed, who delivered, who set free. I am yet he who sits on the right hand of the Father forevermore. I sit on the tables of time. I control the creation of my Father's hand. And my thoughts for you are good and not evil. Yet a little while, and your word is coming to pass. A little more time of your perfection, and my word is coming to pass. A little more of the perfecting of my wonder, and my word is coming to pass in your life, says the Spirit of the living God, for this year, over this world and over this people. Lift your hands all over the building.